Hey everybody, how's it going? Right at 5. Good afternoon, Alan, Infinity, Mark, Valerie, Nikki, Kimberly, my lovely bride. How are you this evening? Donald, Sergio, Ray, Deborah, Rick. Hey everybody. Smaller crowd this evening than the morning show. That's the way it goes. I don't know. It used to be a bigger crowd, now it's a smaller crowd. Whatever. Whatever. Welcome to 30 Minutes of Awesome. Here we go. I took this picture, by the way, right here. I've been using pictures I either took or AI generated. So, welcome everybody. Philip, hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. TGLS not going to be a lot to talk about. It's just in between the start point and the end point. Anyway, hey everybody. We got CPI coming up this week. PPI coming up this week. Another holiday week next week. In 30 minutes of your requests. When we get to it, just easy. I always get a little haircut, little shave in the mornings, and get a couple. Falls out a little bit, and I have to keep it trimmed down. It gets a bit like steel wool in the back, so I mean, got all prettied up for my people coming into town. We got the in-person meeting coming up tomorrow. I guess we're kicking it off tomorrow evening, and then Thursday, Friday for Turnmeyer Trading Lab. People. So those of you coming into town, I look forward to seeing you. Goose will be here. Chris Horchak will be here. I think Ben West, you're gonna be here. Rongemer, he'll be here. He's always here. Yeah, I'm sure you fish in that lake. That's Norris right there. Rongemer, just up from the dam. I'm sure you've been there. So, welcome everybody. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Yeah, we'll post links in Discord for barring any technological malfunction, in which case I can run Zoom off my computer. But yeah, it's a SEC fake out. I know. I was on top of the tweet, like I had a minute later, and then now Gensler's saying that his account got hacked. I knew it wouldn't be today. I was pretty certain. I was kind of shocked when I saw that tweet. I was like, what? I'm pretty sure it's going to be tomorrow. And now Gensler's saying in the background that it was preloaded. They had it canned, but somebody hacked it and released it earlier. Or it was an intern or, unauthorized participant, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Full of crap. Bitcoin popped and then it dropped, and now it's pretty red. We'll talk about it. Yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. Always shenanigans. That's the way it works. So we're going to talk about CPI, PPI coming up this week. We'll talk about the Bitcoin spot ETFs, I guess, because all that, what's now fake news, I guess. And, Monday's a holiday. So welcome, everybody. Guess I should go to this slide first. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything at all. Don't buy anything from anybody. Don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy Forex, don't buy futures, don't buy cryptos, don't buy bonds, don't long them, don't short them, don't sell them. Don't buy anything from a guru that you don't trust. Make sure you trust somebody. Just because it sounds fancy, just because it sounds good, don't buy it. Just because it sounds good. All right. And if you desire that personal financial advice, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. Has a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your situation, which is not me. That's not what I do. I'm just here entertaining. Anyway, welcome everybody to 30 Minutes of Awesome. Like I said, we got an interesting week coming up here. We got CPI coming up on Thursday. That's weird. Usually it's a Wednesday, Thursday thing, but this week it's Thursday, Friday. We got CPI on Thursday and PPI on Friday, which, oddly enough, that's like the last news item on Friday is at 8:30 before the market even opens. That's unusual too. I have to say, it's quite unusual. Usually there's a whole day worth of crap coming out, but not. Usually there's some tentative news or something. We have a tentative Bitcoin approval. Now, the next FOMC meeting coming up on the 30th and 31st, right here. You can bet your bottom dollar they're going to do whatever they can to try to support Biden staying in the White House. I'm pretty sure. That, especially since Powell and Trump butted heads pretty strongly, even though Trump put Powell in his position. You know what? His position comes up for, I guess, renewal after the election. So we'll see what happens here. So whoever's the next president gets to pick who's the next Fed chair, whether Powell stays in the hot seat or we get a new one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so tentative and transient. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So right there, 30th, 31st is the next FOMC. You know, just to help everybody see this fact right here, coming on down to Wednesday, FOMC right there on the 31st of January. So coming in hot. All right. Hold off on your requests. Remember, click the link right over here. If you want to be a subscriber, you want to chat, you want to be able to make a request, click the link right here. Be a subscriber to the channel. And yeah. So while I'm live, you can chat with me and make requests. And if you're tuning in later, I'm sorry. You're going to have to leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get to you. Or you can click the more button down below and pay $5 and come get in Discord and buy the market roadmap and talk to me in there. Anyway, moving on. Other than the CPI and PPI, not a lot going on. I mean, we had the Bitcoin thing that whatever's going on there. So hold off on your requests. Just a minute. They're gonna get lost in the chat here. If you throw too many at me first. And let's let me pull up. I don't know if y'all have seen the tweets here. Let me pull this one up. And yeah, this was unusual whales right here. Gary Gensler saying that the SEC's Twitter account was hacked, and SEC Twitter account was compromised. There was an unauthorized tweet posted. The SEC has not approved the listing or trading of any spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. Right there. Boom. And then I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Bunch of crap. Even the SEC getting in on FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt, all through the crypto. Anyway. Yeah. So craziness. Absolute craziness. So let's just go ahead and jump on over and might as well start there, right? Might as well. Look at that candle. That's Bitstamp. And let's see. Coinbase was a little more interesting. Turning green again. Oh, that's on a 3-day. There we go. Red on the daily. And when we look at 30-minute, heck, look at a 15-minute. We had a pop. We had a drop. Whew. It's been crazy. If you look at the 1 minute, we were jumping thousands of dollars here. So we may wake up, back up. We may see this thing rally right back up here where it kind of parked all day, right around that 46.7 area. But we could just sell the news. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's classic though, right? Classic. If somebody breaks in and tweets some stuff or oopsies or whatever, I don't know. That's it's kind of what I've grown to expect in the crypto space. I didn't plan on doing anything. I'm just sitting on it. I positioned myself like more than a year ago, for all of this stuff. I knew it was coming, and we just been sitting, just waiting. I mean, I've picked up strategic trades here and there, like selling short puts on Mara. I mean, selling $20 puts. That's been a pretty good play for a couple weeks. Selling that right there. Yeah, just hanging out up here. Post market dropping a little bit. I mean, hey, I kind of expect it to come on down to 20. Could come on down to 17. Could come on down to 15. Possibly even 12. Crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Anyway, pull it up right over here. Look, see? Could do a 618 retrace. Come back to the roadmap line right there. Right in there. Right around the 13, 14, possibly even down to 12. At 786. All possible. All possible. Right there. If anybody's been not knowing that I thought Bitcoin was going to pull back into the halving, welcome to the conversation. I don't know where you've been, but maybe you should tune in a little more often. I mean, I drew this big blue line right here on what I thought was going to be the ETF approval, and a big blue arrow down right there. So, I mean, you know, yeah, tomorrow's the deadline. I mean, tomorrow, like the 10th is the deadline. They've got to make a decision, and we'll see what happens. I was, I thought something was fishy was up because the announcement said that 11 ETFs, all of them were approved. Well, all of them don't even have their ticker in order. As I was talking about this morning, it's they don't all have their ducks in a row here. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess 11 of them have tickers. 2 of them don't. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The AP agreements, that's approved participant agreements, have to be in place. The SEC saying they only want cash, not in kind. And, I talked about that this morning. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe it's like you're saying. Maybe it's an excuse to not actually make any kind of announcement tomorrow. Maybe it was all a ruse. Maybe it's all planned out. Like, oh, let's oopsie, and then let's blame it on. Oh, we can't respond on the legal time that we're supposed to respond because we got hacked and all this stuff happened. Right? I mean, it's all bullshit, right? Complete bullshit. Just do your job. Just do your job. Anyway, I'm gonna quit ranting about it. I mean, it just crypto shenanigans. This is the kind of stuff that happens. So if you don't like it, stay out of crypto because it's not gonna go away. It's just gonna keep going. It's more of this crap just gonna keep happening. More people hack. I mean, this is not all that different than FTX. All the tweets that came out that they were gonna go bankrupt and then they did. And I mean, this stuff is just what happens in crypto. So anyway, moving on. S&P 500 did a bunch of nothing today. Good grief. Talk about a lot of drama for nothing. I mean, nothing. I mean, I was just kind of disappointed with today, actually, honestly. I kept expecting it to break out and go. I mean, I was ready. That one little spike up, I was like, here we go. And nothing. I mean, look at that. We got a nice go up there and then parked. Did nothing the rest of the afternoon. I was frustrated. Very frustrated with that price action. I think I made 2 trades today. Made $10 in futures and $3 in futures. Got stopped out both times. $10 was short. $3 was long. And what the heck? What the heck? That's all I did today. That's all I did today. Anyway, that was it. NQ looked a little better. That's Nasdaq if you're unfamiliar. We actually made a higher high. That looked positive right there. But the problem here is that it didn't clear the 618. Remove all this crap off here. Probably go up a time frame or two. I mean, when you go from the high to the low, and I know I missed the high because the top of the chart was in the way. Today we hit the 618 and stopped. Right there. We going higher? We're going lower. I don't know. That technically could be 5 up. Everybody see that? For the in-person people, we're going to go more through what this means later this week. That actually looked... Look, for those of you that know the roadmap line, I talk about it. Wave 4s bounce off the roadmap line. Look right there. Wave 2s do too, but that didn't happen on this move. Now, this wave 2 could. Kind of interesting. Is this 5 up, and this be 1, 2, and a giant 3, 4, and 5 up there? Could be a higher degree. This one would be a lower degree. There you go. Could be, could be. Look, isn't that funny how that's the like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Ta-da! And it works right with the fibs. Funny enough, we might be going up. Might be. Interesting, interesting. Anyway, moving on. Russell, still a bit more bearish. I kind of expected that to go, but it didn't. Made kind of an ugly head and shoulders, too. Look at that. Right there. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Kind of got this head and shoulders going. Might we do that? We might. Anyway. Let's see. With most IPO releases, do you expect Bitcoin ETFs to do a similar move? I don't know. IPOs are different than ETF starts. That's my IPO thing is on companies. I don't necessarily have a thing on ETFs. 'Cause ETFs aren't like, they don't have like a bunch of investment going on that we don't see on the chart. Like they just kind of start up, you know. So you look at this one, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, that's horrible looking, you know, when you look at it like this. But when you look at it on an adjusted, there, the ADJ button, it's actually, when you take out the dividends, you know, because the fact it pays $1.10, dollar 93 cents, 62 cents. That was a bit lower and retraced right to the roadmap line. Look, I mean, that's kind of bullish when you account for the dividend payments that are absolutely ridiculous. We're paying a 63% dividend yield. And that's not actually very bearish. Another one that's been around for a while is the IBD 50, and we need to jump up a bit. I mean, it did start out bearish, looks like, and then went quite bullish, and then just kind of been sideways. If you look at, you know, BITO, it kind of popped onto the scene at the point where Bitcoin topped and has been bearish. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a rule necessarily like my IPO rule that 99% of IPOs tend to be bearish. I don't think ETFs are quite the same that way. You know, some of them are kind of bearish, like that one. Even the adjusted, you know, even when you adjust it, it's still pretty gnarly. there's a bunch of crazy ones lately. Yeah, CONY getting a large pullback there. Pretty wicked. That's the adjusted chart. There's the non-adjusted chart. Come on, way back down. So anyway, discuss my. Well, I mean, so far we haven't confirmed any bearish move. So if you want me to pull up the, let's see where the. Oh, that's not it. Let's see. Let's see if I saved that image from the other day. I think. Yep, there it is. Don't delete much. Here we go. So these right here are the Bank of America projections. Really, for the S&P, the bull case is flat. It's just a little bitty dot in there. Let's pan it over. You can see it right there, that little bitty. And you can see the purple just sticking out just behind it there. The red is the only one that's a big down. We look at that. What those mean. Purple is a neutral, so slightly positive if we're just market neutral, slightly negative if we're bullish, and big negative if we're bearish. I don't know. There's a flat position, so they're basically saying that if we get a bear case in the market, that it looks like these algos might go flat. That's like $90 billion or 90 billion. I think it's $90 billion roughly what the algos trade. These are active algos. And for Nasdaq, there's very similar. It looks like a little more positive on a neutral case, little bit of selling on a bullish case, and a lot of selling. See, they'll just go flat. Like they'll just dump it and go flat. Doesn't look like they're set to go negative, but they're set to go flat on any kind of bearish move in the market. Anyway, there you go. That's the long and the short of it. Alrighty. Close that up. Go back to what I was talking about. Got something good for the morning. Something real good. You're going to want to come in the morning. Got something juicy to talk about. It's not Bitcoin spot ETFs. It's something else. Something real juicy I saw right before I came on. I gotta read a little bit more about it. So anyway. Alrighty. Yeah. Today's div payout day, but it actually got taken out back there. So I don't know. It is what it is. All right, oil still churning. Like I talked about this morning, holding there, positive, staying under there. I mean, it's just sideways until we break out. Like we're just consolidating near the lows. Can we get one more flush? Potentially. Can we get a breakout? We just gotta wait. Really, right now, target for BITO has been 25 for a long time. So, and we may not get there. If Bitcoin sells the news, it may be a while before we get to 25. So Brent just kind of cruising sideways, not really doing a whole lot. And this is crude in New York Harbor. This is crude in Europe. This is gasoline futures, still in the downtrend. That's good for a Biden re-election. See what we get. We can continue that. Or do we do a breakout? Or do we do a breakdown? I mean, that's the expectation right now. Stay in the channel. Heating oil, diesel. That's looking a little bit like we could get something bullish going here. Looking like that looks a little bit more like a reversal pattern shaping up here. Went really deep, but could be. Could be. The upside targets on that baby would be somewhere right around the roadmap line. Imagine that. Golly, can't make this stuff up. Right around there. If we break higher, which if we get any kind of continuation, we're going right up there. Back to that 285, 290 area. Natural gas popped up, pushing above the roadmap line. Look at that. Watch for that lower high. If that's a lower high, that could be a head and shoulders. Interesting. I didn't really expect it, but we'll see. You can set your alert right there at 345, 347, I guess, 347. Error on the side of caution, 350. If we break above 350, we're probably going up. I'm actually going to set an alert because now I'm interested. I have UNG long. I want to make that clear. Like, I am long UNG. I have been for a long time. I'm way underwater, but yeah, I was expecting this thing to actually break out back in the fall. But let's be honest, like this looks pretty crap. Now, could that be a measured bounce type thing where we bounced at the 786 and we break out? Yeah, but the indication for it to actually play out is a move up through that high. Where might we go to? Low. 3-point tool. 1, 2, 3. That would put us right up in this $5, possibly only $4, possibly $5. If it's going to be bullish, it'll pop right up like this. Probably retrace back like this. And then do a final move like that. That's similar to the first move. Which, that. Similar in height, but not in duration. Don't get those confused. So that would be the ultimate target right there at like 580. Right there, somewhere right up there. And it could go really fast. So anyway, that's natural gas for you. GC. I don't bet big on things like UNG. I mean, just throwing that out there. I am heavy into crypto. Got a lot of money tied up in crypto-related stuff. Not necessarily so much in crypto, but in crypto-related stuff. Gold looks like we're going to come down to the roadmap line and possibly 1, 2, 3 right there, right down in this zone. Could find support at 1937, could be 1893, could extend all the way down to this 1837 area. And there you go. Looks like an ABC correction to me. Yep. That's what it looks like. Where is it? Right there. ABC. Origin point A, B, and C. Right there. That's what that looks like to me. Unless we break above this high, right there. Some point in the future. There you go. All right. We'll get to requests in just a second. Silver is just more sideways consolidation. Oh, look at that head and shoulders. You see it? I see it clear. Holy moly. Not going to be highly reliable because this isn't like an ultimate high. But I see that baby right there. I see it. I see you. I see you, baby. Shaking it. Shaking it. I see you, baby. Anyway, right there. Take it right back to the bottom of the box. Look at that. Wouldn't that be interesting? Quite interesting. Anyway, HG, still bearish. Breaking back below the roadmap line, rejecting the breakout. JT's been saying we may see a big... Oh, this'll fit the narrative. Okay. Giving a teaser. Tomorrow morning, what I'm going to talk about fits this narrative right here. This chart right here, potentially going down here, fits with what I'm going to talk about in the morning. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is looking mighty fine. I love it when a story comes together. You're going to want to come listen to what I got to say. Anyway, so we've kind of already talked about crypto a little bit and Bitcoin. Probably sell the news thing. And I'll take some requests. So, hold up. We're going to take requests. Probably at least 30 minutes. I've been blabbing for 30 minutes. And so we'll go at least till 6 o'clock. And one ticker per person. Let somebody else go. And then you can go again. All right. Make sure you're subscribed. Click the button right over here. Right here. Click that button if you want to be a subscriber. You want to make a request. And let's do that. Let's do this thing. All right. I saw a few get thrown in here. Like TGLS. I mean, there's the target. What's happening in between? I don't really care. We probably have resistance at this high. There'll probably be some other resistance on the way. I think we're probably heading to 90, possibly all the way up in there. But I mean, you're welcome to fade me. That's what I think we got cooking. Could go even higher. Could go up to 200. But I bought shares at 30. I'm up like 60%, whatever that is. I mean, I'm up pretty dang good. Bought share right at 30 and change. So I'm already up like 47%. I was up like 50%. This is going to be like 300%. We can make it to 120. There is resistance at the prior high. And if you do the conservative targets, which high to low, 2-point tool, resistance at 65, resistance at 81, and then we'll see what happens. All right, that's TGLS for you. Looking on down, ZB. Let's see, I thought I had ZB on the list, but don't see it. And ZWZ. CS, ZC. I don't even know what ZB is off the top of my head. I can't recall. And I don't know where I was just typing that. Treasury bonds. Yeah. Well, didn't go that high. It only went this high and then rejected. Probably coming back to the roadmap line. I mean, that was what I drew right there. Come up into the zone and retrace to the roadmap line. We're just doing it faster than... Time is the hardest thing about this whole thing. I drew it on there already. We didn't reject the roadmap line. We did pause for a second. We came up, hit that orange box, right, retrace back down. I thought we might take that long. Nope. We did it fast. So now, do we hold the roadmap line? Or do we get back below it? If we get back below it, watch out below. So support at this point is right here. So if we get below the roadmap line, we're coming down to this zone likely. If we get below that, we're going lower low, probably to 102. If we bounce at this point, it's only going to be nominally higher. If we bounce off that roadmap line, probably 127, 129. That'll be resistance right up in there. We may bounce down again. So do with that what you may. SLB, Schlumberg. Whenever I hear it's Schlumberg, I always think of like Fabergé eggs too. I don't know why. You know, probably stuck in your head now too. You hear Schlumberg Fabergé. Anyway, that's what I always like. That's what echoes in my mind anytime I look up SLB. And at this point, it didn't do. Well, it did that, but it did it quicker. Back to the roadmap line, broke below, held bearishly. No bueno. No bueno for going higher. Probably going to get down to this zone right in here. All right. That's SLB. Avalanche. If I could type. Let's go with Coinbase. And let's clear off a few things. So right now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably going to get a fifth. Gonna have to put it in log mode. Maybe that was log mode. I don't know. We may top out at 51. Short term. We may retrace back to the roadmap line. I am long Avalanche. I've got Avalanche. I have the actual coins. And I'm holding them for higher because that's what FedNow is built on. We could go much higher. That's just a guess. I mean, it's EWAG. And if you want to know the ultimate WAG, ultimate EWAG, like 247. That'd be wild. That'd be wicked, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm sitting on Avalanche. All right. Haven't heard much about keeping Trump out of certain states. Yeah. It's got to be a sticky issue. I'm not really talking politics, though. And Melly looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. Certainly found resistance at the 618. That's for sure. Retrace that. That's all we really needed to go to the 1272. Since we didn't stop at the 1272 and retrace, we popped up to the 1618. We retraced back to the 1272. That could lead to that, and then we could, this thing can keep ping ponging on the fib ladder. Can keep doing that. But watch out though. The higher we get on the ladder, the higher the likelihood we're going to retrace it back to the roadmap line like we did right back here. So. All right. That's Mercolibre. Target for Beto. Said was 25. 25, 26. Right there. You see where those three lines come together? That's the target. That's like the optimistic target. Now, big picture target, when Bitcoin really starts moving, like up here around 80 to 100. Right up here. Maybe higher, but I think 90 was the target I've put out for other people. Somewhere right in that zone. Short term, 25. Probably retrace it. I mean, that was a pretty good move right there. Let's see. Just clean it up a little bit. Somebody remember where all those lines were. Tell me how I put them back. right in that zone. And then crazy target, 1,000. Nah, probably not happening. That may be we may get up to 36, retrace it back down to 25-ish, and then pop again. Yeah, 24, 25, yeah. Yep. All right, moving on. Whoa, I just jumped through a ton of scrolling. Marvel. Yeah. 74. Upside target. Breaking out. Looks pretty good, especially if the S&P goes higher, which it looked like it was like right on the edge. If we can break out higher, like I said, that Nasdaq's looking bullish. I don't know. Is it to tell? Might be going higher. 75, 74, 75. DAL. Excuse me. DAL. Short term made a bounce. It's like 43, 45 on the upside. We'd be cautious for another retrace after that. AMD did something bullish. 157 is actually the 618. I had a conservative target at 150 and we hit it. And we pulled back like a monster off of that level. 157 is actually the 618, and that could be the top for a good long while. I would be very cautious. Very, very cautious once we get there. So look, this first move up. The last move up tends to be very similar to the last move up, and we're already exceeding that. Could it extend? Sure, it can extend, but I'd be careful. That's there's no high probability anything left for much higher. Maybe as high as 167. Maybe. But I mean, look at that. That's okay. That's crazy. Look, right up to 1272, bounce back to the 100, push out possibly 167. I wouldn't ask for much more on the upside. It pattern's full. Ghost Rider. Be careful. All right, BA. JT drew a big arrow last week. Still think it's coming down here. 150. 150 to 180. Somewhere in that zone. That was my big target. Kind of accelerated a little faster than I thought it might because losing doors and stuff. But hey, there's the target. And WMT. Potentially getting back above the roadmap line. Look at that. Broke up through, retraced. Small. Very small scale here. 3-day retrace. Pop out. We break above that high right there. That would be a rather aggressive entry due to the giant gap down that we do. That ridiculous gap down I did over here. The conservative entry is not till we get way up here. So you could enter aggressively, looking for that gap fill. It's probably going to find resistance breaking higher. You may want to take that exit, like where the conservative entry would be. You may want to take that as the exit if you got into that. We could extend out to 175, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, Amazon. I was expecting that to come back to the roadmap line, but hey, it held exactly in the vicinity of that, and upside target right up there, 160. Sometimes it does the crazy thing. Where does that come from? Look right here. Roadmap line bounce, high to low. There's your fibs, 160, 150. Right there. Kind of wild when a plan comes together. I mean, look at that. Am I trading it? No, I'm not trading it. It's not the high probability trade I look for. These are not the trades you're looking for. EMCD probably coming back to the roadmap line. Would not surprise me one bit. Could it extend? Sure, they can all extend. They can all do whatever they want to. What does it look like it's going to do? Probably come back to the roadmap line. Now, if it holds there and bounces, that'd be pretty bullish. 302, 309. If we just bounce from where we are, maybe 300, 303. Kind of see how a deeper retrace is more beneficial for going even higher. Sometimes that doesn't make sense to everybody. GBTC is tied up in this garbage with Bitcoin spot ETF approval. And we got to zoom out like a lot to talk about this downtrend. There's the resistance right there. Didn't extend. Well, I got close. Talk about this one a lot over the years. If you can't tell, just kind of clean it up. There we go. That's what's next. That's next. What might it do after that? 100, 200. That's the resistance right now. Get above that. Rocking, baby. All right. Roku. ROKU. Looks like it's on the path. Nothing changed since last week. Or whenever I drew that. LMT. Looks like that's on the path. Nothing changed since I drew that. NVDA is still, wow, look at that. Broke out today or yesterday. Popped up. Hit the extension. 1272 could extend to the 1618 at 571. Well, did what I thought it was going to do. Drew the arrow right there. Just took a few days. I thought it was going to do that when it held that trend line. Yep. That's a three-wave move, though. Be careful if you don't see it. So let's clear a few things off here. Right there. That would give me caution. That's not necessarily bullish or bearish. It's like a coin flip when it stops right at 1272 in between when it's a three-wave type move up like that. Now, up off this low, we haven't even made it to like 580. Possibly 678. Has potential to make it all the way up there. We'll see. Starts to get a little crazy. They're going to have to make a bunch more money. PE still hanging out above 20. It's come back down quite a bit. Still hanging out well above 20. 20 is the ridiculous level. It's interesting they don't have the 2023. I guess 2023 wraps up when they report earnings Q1. Anyway. There you go. Upside 564, 580, 621, 678. And traditional way, roadmap bounce. 537, which is what we got, and 584. Ooh, looks like some confluence right there at the 580 level. Maybe that may turn down. Maybe might reject back to the roadmap line off of that. Be careful. All right. Enough of that one. TSM. Looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. Yeah, in a three-wave fashion. Held the 618. Cautious. There. That's kind of like the magic level. We break above it. 107, 109. Stand below it. Roadmap line. SYM. Well, back to the roadmap line. Probably going to come touch that. Didn't break on out higher. That lower high was to kind of tell. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Drop. If it can hold that, positive. If it doesn't hold that, might bust the trade. Still likely to make it. How long? It could be a while. Huh? Could be a while before we get up there. All right. TSM, SYM, AVGO. Just doing an echo. AVGO. Look at that. Perfect. Upside potential. 13, 15. Sometimes it's that simple. It's just an echo. Like, that's an echo in the market. It kind of did that before. See, it did that once, twice, 3 times. What do you expect it to do? The same thing is done. Once, twice, 3 times. Target zone. Be conservative, Take your profit 1300. Don't get too greedy. You'll pay for it if you get too greedy. You see that it did that same retrace once, extension, twice, extension, 3 times, extension. Sometimes it's easy as that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. S5, F5. Got to take that one out of log mode. And we're just turning. Interestingly enough, even though the SP was only down 7, that came back down pretty hard. Struggling to maintain that high ratio of stocks above the 50-day moving average. Struggling. Watch out. One of these days, we're going to drop back below. One of these days. Might we go higher first? We could. We could. S&P could go higher before we break down. Could just pop a higher high. Could hit that target that could just pop that. Not that target, but this little smaller 30-minute target that I was talking about this morning. Could just pop this target right here. Right up there, that 48.22. Might just pop that. And then pull back. We'll see. We'll see. All right. FTI is going down in a blaze of glory on a 30-minute chart. And right back to the roadmap line. Couldn't break out. Classic. Number 1, it's got to break out. Number 2, it's got to move up, and resistance up here. Otherwise, get below that, going down. Sometimes it's that simple. Oh, this was over here because of that. So there's support. There's resistance coming down. No bueno. No bueno. FTNT. Looking for it to hold the roadmap line and bounce on that last one, FTI. FTNT. I don't know. That was quite a deep retrace. Could it go bullish? Yeah, it could. I mean, the bullish potential would be way up here, but need like a move up through the roadmap line, a retrace before I would ever trade that thing. But it could go quite bullish. Did Walmart? Pretty sure that was the one with the gap. SMH bounced off the 618. Bounced off the 1272. Could extend up to 192, but could also come back to the roadmap line. I would expect the roadmap line on something like this, but doesn't have to. You can just keep on extending. Just keep on extending. Apple is kind of ugly. Now, that's a roadmap line bounce. Not going to deny. Like, that's all the things I look for right there. Got a lot of lines drawn on this chart because there's a lot of things going on. Did all that stuff. I mean, look, hit the target. Dang, sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I get lucky on that stuff. So right there, it gapped down. It's one of those weird times. Chris, Everett, all those that were here when I talked about this in 2022 in the live in-person event. Sometimes when you draw the fib line and the 618 comes out at a logical place, it's kind of telling you that that was the bottom. And this may go rocketing back off. Now, the confirmation won't be until we do the gap fill. Right here. At the minimum. Got to do that. Confirmation. So back above 195-ish. Back above those highs. Probably set up to go up here. 204. Bounce back down. Extend on out. Like that. Now, if it doesn't hold the roadmap line, watch out. Because that thing got fully cooked. 150 would be my target. That looks like a W. That looks like an X. That could be a Y. This may hold that 618 and turn down violently. Be careful. Short term, probably going to rally back to 190-ish. Longer term, not so sure what we're doing right now. Not super confident on a roadmap line bounce at the moment. Just throwing that out there. That looks like a corrective move down. That looks like a corrective move up. We may get continuation down. Be careful. Alrighty. ASML is just hanging. Hasn't done anything. Failed to break out. Retrace the 618. That's all classic. You can see it consolidated right there on the 618. Going higher. Consolidating just above it. We need continuation for the breakout to the target. I'm long 1 share. Kick the tires, light the fires. Yep. And CVNA, Carvana. Looks like it's coming back to the roadmap line. MSTR. Would not surprise me to come back to the roadmap line. That one's done. Needs to retrace. And the market's back open. 6 o'clock. CPER. You really want another target? Do you? $15, $16. Might take a while, like a long while. Like, might take like that long. Netflix target is 500. Come on, get up there. I have a sell at like 505. I bought at 401. Who says you can't make money on shares? Target's right up there in the gap fill. Top of the box is the gap fill from back here a year ago, two years ago. Time flies. 2 years ago now. We've been working on filling this gap for 2 whole years. Let's finish it up, Netflix. Let's do this thing. I bought it 401. Looking for 505. Maybe 515. I mean, 1272 is at 520, so we'll see. We'll see. Didn't quite retrace as deep as I thought it might. Got a bounce earlier. That's bullish. Keep going. No reason to stop now. Let's get her. Pitter patter, let's get at her. I'm biased long, but there's always the opportunity we retrace the roadmap line. We get below it, that'd be a bail point for me at this point. I book like a whopping $16. But yeah, we do have earnings coming up in a few, 2 weeks, 14 days, 14 days. All right. Next, LRCX. Not much to tell about. Head and shoulders target still way up here. That'd be pretty wild. Retrace to the roadmap line. And resistance at 812. Could hit the head and shoulders target. It was a big head and shoulders target, but could hit it. I kind of did, I guess. Maybe. Maybe it did. I guess it's the difference between log scale and not log scale. Because it's so big, log scale puts it way up there. Non-log scale, it hit it. I don't know. Be careful. 830. Upside resistance. Yeah. All right, moving on. PXD. What happened there? Buyout fall through. I don't know. It's supposed to be a buyout, but retrace back to the roadmap line and just farting around there. Yeah, it's not good. Getting below the trend line. That may go deeper. Be careful. Careful out there. It's like a big warning flag. Support would be right down here. Around 210. And EEM. Sideways. It's like the wind up and the fizzle. It's wound up for a big move up to like 60, but that's a lot of sideways. More wind up. More wind up. Eventually to pop. How long? There's other places to put your money. That's just like sideways forever. XRP USD is kind of bearish below the roadmap line. Might get a further retrace. Far down would you go? Down to 21 cents. I know you're not going to like that. Welcome to the truth of the technical chart. That was an interesting jump. What I click on? Auto. Yeah. That was sloppy, but get the point across. Try to connect up as many lows as you can, which is difficult. You know, some people like to just go with the ultimate lows, but I like to go with as many lows as we can because that shows repeated support. These are just kind of like, nope, 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 maybe. So watch out for that. If it can hold in here, great, but it's kind of a bearish looking setup. This was not bullish into that spike. That was actually very corrective, which means the trend is down, which means lower low, unfortunately. That's XRP for you. Thanks for shopping. All right, a whole crap ton of stuff. CNC, you have to go a little faster. Maybe bullish, but probably wants to retrace back to the roadmap line. Right there. Watch for, that was the lowest low. Watch for resistance right there on the upside. If we break through that, we go positive. Anything below that, watch out. And this thing does violent retraces too, so watch out. Watch out, watch out, watch out. This coin looks like it's coming back to, well, sitting at the 1272. Do we pop higher from here? I don't know. Resistance up here, 260 to 280. Support down here. And we're just in the coin flip middle. Ha, get it? Coin flip. So either breaking out or potentially breaking down. That's coin. In a nutshell, I'm no longer exposed to coin. FIS. Looks like it may go on up there. Resistance right there at the gap. That's what we got. And Starbucks looks like it wants to go down to the basement. 618 retrace back there. 85, 86, 87. Somewhere in that zone. Probably heading down there. I drew that. We've come down a lot since I drew that. We bounced off of that 618. Pulled down, bounce up, bounced off the 618, down. And it may go even deeper. Don't want to wreck anybody's expectations, but we could come on down to 75. All right. Mara already basically hit that earlier. Might retrace back to 12. There's the low, there's the high. Hit the head and shoulders, retrace here, support down here. We got like 16, 20, 16, 12 with the roadmap line. All those potential. What's it going to do? There's no high probability anything for now. Retrace is probably what it's going to do. It's holding a 618 so far, which is very bearish for a continuation lower. Bounce down, bounced up, right around that 16, 13, even down to 9 possible. I know it's not what you want to hear. It's not what anyone wants to hear, when, especially if you got 6 figures in tomorrow like I do. But there's the long and the short of it. I mean, let's be honest. I would bet on a move down to this area. That's why I got the $20 calls sold. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to sell upside calls. Right there. That would be what I expect. All honesty. Am I liquidating my position? No, I'm not trading my long-term position in with short-term bullcrap. That's just short-term retrace bullcrap. Not trading it. Just sitting. That was an investment in Mora for long-term, 100 triple digits. So maybe like, but you could make so much more money. You've got to make those decisions. All right. I'm not making decisions. I made the decisions back here. Now we're just sitting. Now we're waiting. I'm waiting through all of this. Not trading it. All right. Not getting in and out of a long-term target position. MSFT, know your time frame. MSFT still looks like it wants to retrace. Could it extend? Sure. It's got resistance right up there. The extension would be 401. And so far, it just bounced off the 1272, retraced, held the breakout point. A classic would be to extend to the 1618. AMZN, we already did. Bud, I am still long. I'm up like 400 and some gazillion percent. And the target is still up here at 80. I need to look at how much time I got left on that. I'm long at like 50 on a synthetic position, which means I bought a long call, sold a long put, or sold a short put. Sold a long put, which is short put. Long call, short put. Cost is low. Potential works like stock and could be really nice. All right. CCP, CCP, CCEP. Looks like that. Rejected. Probably come back to at least this zone right here. CSX. Carlene, you got to wait for somebody else to go. And I would expect that to come back. And GEHC is probably coming back down to the roadmap line. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And BONK is not a ticker. And NTNX hit the 1272. Watch out for the retrace. Back down. Doesn't hold that. Back down. Something like that. And Uber. Could pop up here. Could retrace back down here. So there's your downside potential. Here's your upside potential. Right there. Which way? It's a coin flip at this point. We've already hit targets. So I would edge, retrace, a little higher probability. But if the market extends, we're going up here. Remember, like 90, like, I don't know, 85, 90% of stuff goes with the S&P 500. Wherever the S&P 500 is going, why do I focus on the S&P so much? 85 to 90% of stuff, wherever the S&P goes, it's going with it. All right. So, K-View. Don't have enough data. IPOs are bearish. That went bearish. Still below the roadmap line, even though it's only like a little blip. There's your resistance right there. USD, JPY. Man, I thought you were going to be questing USD, JPY. That's like Casey when he shows up. He's been on here a few times. He doesn't go by Casey when he's on the stream. The guy I did the presentation with this afternoon, he requests this quite a bit. Man, I got really close. Look. When I guessed where it would come down to, look at that. Look how close I was. Sometimes I get lucky. That was an echo from before. That was. Holding the roadmap line. If we get below this level, likely we're coming down to that. If we break out, sloppy. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Slopper, slopper. Right there. There you go. That's the long and the short of it. Which way is it going? I don't know. If we break down, short entry. Break up, long entry. In between, there you go. US CAD. Got all these 4Xers on here today. Look at that. Sideways bull shirt. Why do you want to mess with that? So here's the deal. 4X, big picture. You know, there's exceptions always. 4X, big picture. Everything's trying to come to parity. Like USD, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, Euro, Great British Pound. They're all kind of trying to come to some sort of parity. And we crisscross parity. You know, that's where everything's 1 to 1 to 1. Worldwide currency, basically. Everything kind of coalesces toward 1 when you look at the big picture charts. I mean, we really kind of look at this. You know, we're always hovering around 1. So it's like, why do you want to trade something that's always like trying to just come to balance? Versus the stock market that's shown for the last 100 and something years to go up about 8.5% a year. I mean, I'd rather bet on stocks that, you know, with 80% of them going 85, 90% of them going up, versus currency that's just churning sideways, trying to come to balance with everything. So, what would I say on dollar CAD? I don't know. Resistance right in here, probably. It's unclear. See, we found support, got an extension, came down, bounce, busted through, probably come back, test it. That's what you got. Celsius bounced off the roadmap line, potentially going to break out and go higher. 75. If we can get above there. They must have, oh yeah, they split this. I was like, they split it 3 for 1. I was like, this is not Celsius's price. Yeah. All right. GILD. Going an hour and 20. And GILD is right there. And we've got resistance right. Now we broke through resistance. So looks like we're set to go to 94 on the upside. I like that. All right. And next up, SLNH. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Don't mess with that. SLV. I already did silver. SLV. SLV. Silver just going sideways. GLD. Already did gold too. Just rewind. Go back to GC and SI. GC is probably coming down. Oh, went off the wrong one. Oh, it's so small you can't see it compared to the futures. Yeah. Geez, just don't look at these trusts. Look at these right here. Yeah. Probably coming down here. All right. Comcast. CMCSA. Bounce off of the roadmap line potentially. And that was the high. That's the low. Break up there. 45, 46. And APLD. Nice pop. Still in the churn. Under $10. That always follow the pattern. Resistance right there. That was support. Hold that. Could just come right back down. All right, it may take a while, you know. And ARES is right up at the targets. There, 122. And QTRX is 31. Nothing changed. PG is bearish, bouncing off, and expect that to go lower. Target's actually only to 140, possibly 130. And PG was the one I just did, and SMCI I did this morning. And breaking out 390, 430 on the upside. And BAC would be that one, earnings on Friday. Caution, caution, caution. It coming up to resistance there. Super cautious right there. Could turn down. BABA has been looking quite bearish. Probably going lower. Would not surprise me. Google. A lot of these I cover like every day. Google upside resistance 143, which we've already been to, retraced. So 147, that resistance from back over here, this prior high area right there, 150. Then we could look for extensions. All right, XRX, don't recognize that one. Looks like garbage. I mean, look at that chart. Garbage. Yeah. I wouldn't mess with that. I wouldn't mess with it. UCO is with oil. I already went over oil. Don't ask me for ETFs that are for oil. I mean, like oil, gold, silver. That's why I go through them in the beginning. Don't ask for leveraged ETFs. Because leverage, you know. UCO is a leveraged ETF on oil. And it's not going anywhere so far. MindMed is probably garbage. I'm going to have to clear that chart. Biotech Pharma, consolidating at the lows. I wouldn't expect that to go anywhere. And UPS is under the roadmap line. Watch for that to extend. Support down here. Resistance at the roadmap line. It's a downtrend. And CXR. I'm not sure what CXR is. CX. Christmas Island. CMEX. Low price stuff. Long-term resistance. Lower high. Lower high. Be careful. Hope that was the right one. Yeah, CMEX. All right. VIX. I mean, there's nothing to chart because it's either going to pop or, I mean, it's probably going to pop at some point or another. It's probably going to pop between 15 and 20. Just how long before it does it? I don't know. We don't hang out down here forever. We're at the lows. It's probably not going below the box, at least not very long. Could drop down to 9, but not very likely to hang out there before we pop again. And I covered FNG this morning. Probably come back to the roadmap line. But it could extend. You know, the target's 255. The roadmap line is... quit. The roadmap line is down here at 177-ish. Back down around 177, 180. So, TLR. I'm going to wrap this up. TLR probably coming back to the roadmap line somewhere out here. And JMPR is bearish. Could it reverse? Sure, but it's got a lot of highs to work through. A lot of prior highs to work through. That was the lowest low for years, so watch out. Anyway, that's the list. I'll be back live tomorrow morning looking at what's moving. And if I said anything that you found beneficial, give me a thanks, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys and gals. Remember, in-person event starts tomorrow evening, Thursday, Friday. So we'll try to do a live stream with the in-person audience. That ought to be interesting. See you guys later.